Hi everyone, this is Cato with ProStudioLive.com, and today I want to share with you a tip about using write mode for automation for Pro Tools. So write mode allows you to write automation to your track by recording any changes that you make to your track's automatable controls, and it's great for recording these subtle changes that you make to your track, which frees you up to do other things during the mixing process. So to get into write mode, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pick the track that you want to work on, and then you're going to want to click your automation mode selector, and you're going to want to choose the write option. So if we look right here, like let's say, what track should I do? Let's do this one. If I do audio 1 here, I can click this selector here and switch it over to write. And then what you might want to do, so let me just do that. So now we're in write mode. So then you might also want to open the automation window, and that's because the automation window is where you can easily enable and disable different types of automation that you may or may not want to record. So to open that window, we're going to go to the window menu, and then we're going to pick automation, right? So it's right down here. You can also open it with the command and the numeric keypad 4 is what this is telling you. But here we go. We have the automation window. And within this window, it'll open up, and it's the type, it'll tell you what type of parameters are write enabled or not. And they're also called armed when they're enabled. So you might hear people say that an automation type is armed. That's what that means. It's enabled for writing. So Pro Tools should have most of your automation types armed by default here. So that's the case for me. But anyway, you can see if they're armed because they'll be lit up or highlighted in red. So you can see all these red ones are armed. And to toggle an automation type between being armed and not armed, you can just click on that parameter. So for example, I can click on volume, and now my volume's not armed. Or panning. If I want the panning to stay how it is, I can make it so that I can't accidentally write to it with automation. So now you might also hear people describe an automation parameter as suspended, which is just another way of saying that that automation parameter is not write enabled. So again, if a parameter's button in this window is lit up red, then it's write enabled, and if the button is gray, like this pan one here, then it's not write enabled. So anyway, once you've put your track into automation write mode and you've checked your automation window to make sure the correct parameters are write enabled, then what you're going to want to do is you can go ahead and close this window here, and you can start playback to start your automation recording. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just let us look. I'm going to do the volume automation today because that's one of the easier ones. So you can see that there's no volume automation here. So we have this track playlist here for the volume, and it's just flat. So we're going to revisit that in a minute so we can check that out. But basically you can just I'm just going to hit spacebar here to start playback, and then I'm going to move that parameter. And as I move the parameter, since I'm in write mode, Pro Tools it's gonna record the changes that I make, writing them to my automation lane, if applicable. Right, there are some parameters that don't have automation lanes. But anyway, you can just hit spacebar to begin playback, and then adjust those parameters or controls as you go, and it's gonna record. So I'll just show you that really quickly. Okay, and I don't know what that sounded like. I know that this session is a mess, but anyway, you don't need to shift into record mode or record enable any tracks, since this kind of recording is different from the record mode that we use for tracking audio and MIDI data. So if you don't quite like the changes that you made to your write enabled controls, then you can easily just start playback again and make new changes, which will then be recorded over the changes that you made in the past. So anyway, I can show you. Let's see. We can look at how that looked. And so here's the automation that I wrote to that track. Right here, you can see as I pulled the fader down, it adjusted that parameter for me. So that's it. And all you have to do is tweak the parameter, hit go, just play back. You don't have to go into any like record ready mode or anything here. And once we're done with this and we've recorded this automation, we can just view the automation by switching into that view. So we can look at the automation playlist, or we can also look at, there's the automation playlist can also be open with this little drop down icon here. And so I could, for example, I could look at my waveform and edit and work with my waveform on the main track playlist, and then have this sub track playlist down here where you can see the volume automation. I can edit the volume automation. For example, if I highlight and then hit delete, it deletes those points, those breakpoints between my highlight points. So anyway, or my selection really. But anyway, so that's it. And I recommend trying it out. And write automation mode is so useful, since recording these parameter changes really frees you up to do other things to improve your mix. So to check out more Pro Tools tips and tricks, just head on over to my show, Pro Tools Authority. It's on ProStudioLive.com, and there you can find my show and tons of others, and you'll find hundreds of videos about producing, recording, mixing, mastering, with some of the best engineers in the world, and there really is a lot to learn there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.